And for the roll call, we have Dixie, Tom, and myself, and Michael has joined us. And so we do have a quorum. And our liaison for the council, Dave, is also with us. So has anybody had a chance to read the minutes from our meeting of February 16th?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, does anyone have any additions or corrections? I will say, I read them and I called Joan and there was an extra that was in the first paragraph and she has fixed it. So if nobody else has anything, may I have a motion to approve the minutes from February 16th?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? Tom, you have to. You're muted, I think, Tom.
How's that?
Okay, better. Would you
I'm now
second?
live.
Okay,
I'll
it's
second
been
it.
moved and seconded that we approve the minutes from February 16th. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes will be approved as written then. And the fourth item on our agenda is the discussion and or approval for Miley Harrison business license conditional use application for the short-term rental at 190 South First Avenue. Is she with us?
I don't think so. I didn't see her join.
I drove by there and it looks like, well, it's right by the school, the Sally Morrow School. And I am not really sure about the parking, so I kind of would like to ask her. But if she's not here, I can't.
Yeah, that would be my only concern.
Yeah, because I believe it's right on the corner there, if I looked at the right house, by the school, by the going into the Sally Morrow School, the entrance.
Gina, it's that little house apartment in the back of her house. You know, it used to be Slavinsky's house. It's that.
Oh, okay, so
apartment.
it is right on the corner, but
Yeah, but you can pull in that yard, I think.
Yeah, the
I
one that
believe you can. So, does anyone else have any concerns about it?
No.
Okay, then do we have a motion to approve the business license conditional use application for the short-term rental?
I'll make
I'll
that
make
motion.
it.
Oh.
Go ahead, Dixie.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, thank
I'll
you.
second
Second? Okay, thank you, Tom. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the business license for Miley Harrison for 190 First Avenue. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, then that license is approved. And now we have a discussion and or approval for Glenn Foster building permit for the conditional use application for solar panels at 144 Duchesne Street. And we do these a lot. I don't imagine, is he with us? I don't see where
Oh,
they're
sorry,
with-
I am. I'm with SmartWave Solar. I'm their contractor.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't see where there's any problem. We approve these all the time and I've looked over the plans and I didn't see anything wrong. Did you, Tom or Dixie?
No,
No.
I did not.
Okay. So could we have
We have SmartWave Solar. Just state their name so I can put that in the minutes.
Okay.
Yes, my name is Alex Jones.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve the building permit for Glenn Foster for 144 Duchesne Street?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Tom?
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the solar panels for Glenn Foster at 144 Duchesne Street. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, your permit's approved, Alex.
All right, thank you so much, guys. You're
Okay, now we have one, the same thing for Candace Britton at 246 Uinta Street for solar panels. And like I said, once again, I don't believe they're here, are they? Okay, once again, I've gone over it. I imagine that you have, Tom and Dixie. And
Yeah.
did you see
Yes.
anything? I didn't see anything wrong. Did
No.
you? Is,
No.
Okay, may we have a motion to approve the building permit for the solar panels for Candace Britton at 246 Duchesne Street? All
I'll
in-
make it.
Okay, Dixie?
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the building permit for the solar panels at 246 Uinta. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now we have some more solar panels for Pat and Galen Coco at 131 Roosevelt Street. And I've looked at that and that looks fine to me also. How about you guys?
It looks good.
I haven't looked at it and I'll take your word for it.
I'm not sure I'd do that. Okay, do we have a motion to approve the building permit for Coco's at 131 Roosevelt?
I'll make
ahead.
that motion. Go ahead.
Okay.
Tom.
Tom?
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the building permit for Pat and Gaming Coco at 131 Roosevelt Street. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, they have it. And I do know it says Edward here, but I've always known him as Pat. Sorry, guys. Okay, now discussion and or approval for Kurt Flegel business license conditional use permit for a handyman license at 140 Ivy Street. Is he with us?
Yes,
Okay, could you kind of explain to us how many employees you would have, if any, and the parking situation, please?
no employees. Basically just using a small home office, just, for paperwork. No parking, no visitors, nothing different than what I've done residentially.
Okay.
It just, this is where I live and this is where I'll operate out of.
Okay, will you be storing any tools on the property?
Just a few basic hand tools.
Okay, well, do you have any questions, Tom or Dixie?
Is there
No.
going to be like trailers or heavy equipment or anything like that?
Nope, none.
Okay, that was my only one.
Okay. May we have a motion to approve the Kurt Flegel business license for his handyman business at 140 Ivy Street?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, is there Dixie?
Yeah, I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the business license for Kurt Flegel at 140 Ivy Street for handyman services. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, you have your license, Mr. Flegel. You've been approved.
All right, thank you. And I just come into the city to pick that up, or it just needs to be recorded is all?
Joan?
Yes, I'll have it ready for you if you want to come tomorrow afternoon, Kirk. That'd be good.
All right, thank you much.
Okay, thank you.
All right, bye.
All right, I don't see Charlie on here, and he's number 9. And he's not. But if I could speak to that a little bit, I know what he wants to do. And he his application was incomplete, so we couldn't even consider the application. But he wants to put like a reception center over there on the property where he's building his new home. And I have talked to Todd down at the county, and Todd tells me that UDOT, and he's on the committee, and Lanice is also on the committee, is doing a study from North Martin Road all the way through Helper on the accesses that they have to private properties. And it won't be done until the end of September. But that was one they were looking at because of the way you have to get in there. It's not a good access and there could be safety problems. So if I were Charlie, I would wait until after that study before I applied for anything, but that would be up to him.
I agree. It is a little difficult to pull in there.
It's just kind of weird.
Yeah.
Plus, it's only a one-car bridge, which I don't know if that would make a whole lot of difference or not. But I just, Todd and I talked about this at length, so it's just my opinion. And
I
it's,
think that would be a good idea to let that happen. And at least
and that would be up to him whether he wanted to complete the permit, but we can't consider it if it's not complete. So I guess we would just have to, since he's not here to talk about it, just table it.
okay.
Gina, I did
Yes.
explain to him that it would just be a discussion because there's other things on the, like you said, on the form that he would have to do before we could even.
Yeah, this is just
Yeah.
a discussion and I'm just letting the board and Michael, since you need to, everything falls on you, know, kind of what's going on. So it's actually, we don't have to, I guess we could just table the discussion, or I'm not sure. Do we need to table a discussion, Michael?
Was it on the agenda as a discussion item?
Yes.
I would just, table it until he either brings a full application or until he comes to discuss it further. That's how I'd phrase
Okay.
it.
And we would need a motion for that. So may I have a motion to table the discussion for the Charlie Jones property and until such time as he completes the application or is here?
I'll go ahead and make that motion to table
Okay,
it.
Tom?
I'll second it.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to table the discussion on Charlie Jones's application or request. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The motion carries. Now, this is me, discussion for zoning on state code for mother-in-law apartments. When I was down talking to the assessor recently, and people have been looking at putting mother-in-law apartments in, and when I worked, you had to have a separate parcel ID number for each dwelling that would be your residence on a property. But I don't believe it's that way anymore because that was a long time ago. And according to Gillen, he said that there was the Utah legislature was looking at passing a law where you could have the mother-in-law apartment on the lots without a separate parcel ID, and they would still be able to assess them. Michael, I'm going to look to you. Do you know anything about that, or do you know if it was passed?
Yes, it was.
Uh,
This is Tom.
yes.
I have copies of the HR 82 bill, and yes, it was passed. There's quite a few things we can do to help people do that and or restrict them from doing that. Lot sizes and other things.
Oh, so
There's
it's
quite a
HR
bit- There's
82.
quite a bit to it, so I'll bring it down to Joan and have her make some copies for everybody so they can.
Oh, okay, well, so we may need to adjust our ordinances to accommodate this, right?
Yes, we'll have to adjust quite a bit of it, looks like.
Well, thank you. Then we can put that on our work meeting agenda.
meeting.
And that's the other thing I would like to discuss. Now that we're in the low transmission level, I would really like to have a work meeting in person. If you guys can do that,
Yeah, I can do that.
okay?
I prefer it too.
All right, does anyone have a date? Because we really are kind of behind because of COVID, so Is there a special date, a good date for you, Michael?
Well, actually, I'm leaving the Association of Governments, accepting
Oh.
another position. And so I wouldn't be attending anyway, but from what I understand, until the Association of Governments hires somebody else, Todd Thorne is going to be taking over doing planning related activities and duties. And so if he could attend, that would probably be the best person to ask.
Okay, well, if there isn't any special date for any of you, then I will get a hold of Todd. I'll take him some cookies and we'll get him to come to our meeting,
The only,
if that's okay with you.
that's fine. I do have a blackout time for me. I'm leaving on the 29th of this month, and I will
Okay,
not be back until the 8th of April.
Okay.
So if we can do it before or after that, everything with me is good.
okay, I will have to check with that because we'll all have to see when Todd would be available.
Correct.
Gene, I have a couple questions. Just how
Sure.
is the mother apartment different than an Airbnb?
A mother-in-law apartment is a separate residence. Like, say I had a really nice garage and it was big and I could fix it up and it would have its own utilities and stuff, where the Airbnb, except for this one we approved today, is like just one house on one lot.
May I interject?
Sure.
The new law says the owner of the property must live in the house that where the mother-in-law apartment is on, and it has to be rented. If it goes to Airbnb for 30 days or less, mother-in-law apartment can be rented for eons. There's no time limit on it.
Thank
My
you,
next question
Tom.
is to be one's mother-in-law. That limits the number. And then I had one other question about all the solar panel things, and I don't quite understand. When someone applies for solar, are they automatically invited to provide power to the grid, or is it totally the homeowner's election to stay off those connections? That is, are we obligated to buy solar power if we need it, or what's the city's position on that, if anyone knows?
I don't.
No, I don't either.
I think that's something Gary Harwood could probably answer for us, but
Thank you. I'll talk to Gary about it and see if,
Okay.
it's
So
a simple thing.
curious. I could tell you just a few things that I've heard, and I don't know if it's different in Helper City, but typically you're required to install the hardware necessary to revert it back into the grid. But Rocky Mountain Power, at least, is not required to buy it back and therefore give credits. However, obviously, the less power you're using, the less power they're going to charge you for. That's what I understand, but I'm not sure if Helper City has any other regulations, or especially since you have your own system there.
So, is it okay if I speak? No? Okay.
I know that sometimes there's a holdup on installing the power because there's some kind of equipment that Gary has to get and he hasn't been able to because nobody can get everything they need right away. The net meter. Okay. So if that helps, Dave, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll talk to Gary and see if I just clear it up for me from the city's council perspective. Is what's our obligation
course.
to
Yeah.
buy the power, and who pays for that net metering thing, at what cost, that type of thing is all some boilerplate information.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
We don't charge any extra money for the net meter because we provide meters to anybody else that gets a new meter. So there's not an extra charge for that. The city, we don't charge the customer an extra charge for the net meter because we provide that to all customers on a regular meter.
Okay, so any meter has a net meter on it, is what you're saying, correct?
No.
That can be activated or not.
Yeah, it's a certain type of meter that just has to be programmed now, a net meter. It's just programmed different from my understanding.
Thank you.
Does-
Dave, when you find out that information, would you mind emailing that out so that we're all familiar with that in the future? From Gary? I think you're muted.
Yeah, he is.
You
Dave,
muted,
you're
Dave.
muted, Dave.
You're muted, Dave.
I said,
We
I
didn't
said
hear
Gary's
ya.
not gonna retire before tomorrow, is he?
No,
Okay.
let's hope not.
Okay, yeah, I'll check up and ask him, and then I'll pass it out to the planning and zoning, so at least we're informed.
Wonderful.
Okay, thank you. Is there any further business? If
No.
not, I would accept a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that.
Tom
motion.
and Dixie.
I'll make
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you for
Thank you, guys.
attending our meeting, and hopefully next time we can meet in person.
That would be wonderful.
And I will have Joan email you just as soon as I talk to Todd and figure out when we can do a work meeting, okay?
Yeah. And
Perfect.
Jean, I would like to thank Michael in case we all don't get to talk
Yes.
to him.
Oh my gosh, Michael. Yes, you're being missed.
We will really miss you, Michael.
Where's he going?
Well, I think Todd's an upgrade. So
Well, we've enjoyed you.
I've
You've
enjoyed the
always
cookies
been
and
there
the
every
company.
time I've had a question. You've always answered it, so thank you very much.
And we've loved seeing that baby grow up.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll miss the cookies and the company.
Okay, well, maybe we'll get you some cookies before you leave. We'll try.
Well, thanks everyone. Appreciate
And
it.
good luck. Good
Thank
luck on
you.
your new venture.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I be nosy and ask what your new venture is?
I'm gonna be a city planner in Payson.
Oh, so we're
Oh, wow.
really losing you. I'm gonna
Gone.
miss your wife's farmer's market too.
No, we're not gonna move. So
Oh,
I'm just gonna commute.
okay. That's
And it's only 4 days a week, so I'll be here Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
okay. Well, good, because I would really miss that booth at the farmer's market. Well, thank you all again.
thank you.
All righty. You guys have a wonderful evening.